Okay, so we are finally on episode 3 of Peter's docu-series. As some of you have pointed out, this actually wasn't the end of this series. He ended up doing more. I can kind of see one more up here. It says, inside a Hasidic Jewish Torah celebration. I don't know if that's like 4 or 5. There's no number on it, but definitely gonna be checking that one out. But I think I'm gonna have probably a lot of questions. I'm gonna think this one's a really good one because this one is on intimate relationships and the modern culture. So this will be part 1 of episode 3, and yeah, let's just jump into it.
Is that a tough topic?
No, it's not a tough topic. It's just a big topic. I just honestly feel bad for anyone who doesn't have that.
Open space synagogue.
As a woman, I'm saying
Okay. Interesting so far. As a woman, I'm saying this. Okay.
this. I don't feel pushed down.
Your head.
I really like Peter's kind of like snippets of like what's to come, just those little previews, because then I'm starting to think already like, oh, what is this about? What is this about?
Orders for all of the world.
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving every 7 days, every 6 days.
I need to try that sometime with my wife.
What bias they want to put on you.
But when there's no COVID, when you don't have to worry, this place is full. If you're not a match, you don't.
It's still trippy to hear about the whole COVID situation. Because it's already been like we're getting into 2023 pretty soon. Even though I guess COVID is still currently a thing, I believe there's still some cases happening or re-emerging. But yeah, seeing him with the mask always trips me out a little bit.
I had this holiday the whole day in my life. I wouldn't enjoy it anymore. I'll go crazy.
New York. So population 20 million. Wowza.
There's some people that would look down on you for using a smartphone.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And that's their opinion. That's fine, and I understand where they're coming from as well.
Right.
The way I understand it is that everything God created was created for a reason, and a smartphone is just like anything else in this world. It's if you use it for positive things, then it's a positive thing. If you use it to watch dirt on the internet, then it's a negative.
Agreed. It's how you use it, right? It's the power is in your hands, I guess, in that sense.
Things. If you're going to social media to consume, okay, maybe a little bit, but if you're there a lot, you have a problem in your life. Right? Would
Like
you agree with that?
a void of.
Yeah,
some
you're
sort.
missing something.
You're missing.
At this point, I think Peter should just remove the mask. Get over it, you know?
Connectivity.
Yeah. So I'm trying to create and not consume too much, and I think that's the healthy way to deal with social media.
So is there like a clash within?
I'm kind of like Shlomi here. I'm trying to create content here. I don't really ingest too much. I don't have social medias. I don't have Facebook, Instagram. Definitely not TikTok. I'm too old for that. Snapchat, all those things. I have none of those. I had an Instagram, been discontinued for many, many years. Same with my Facebook. It's been deactivated or whatever the case may be for 8-9 years now, or 7-8 years, I don't know. But yeah, I think basically my YouTube is kind of the only social media I have now.
Hasidic Jews over these issues.
It's ideological. You know, we have, every group has their
Hold on, I'm gonna go back just a bit because I missed Peter's question.
healthy way to deal with social media.
So is there like a clash within
Clash. Okay.
Hasidic Jews over these issues?
It's ideological. You know, we have, every group has their different ideas of how to relate to all this. But was it a clash? It's a difference of opinion. We don't want there to be any distraction while we're praying, so because human nature is human nature, if a man was sitting and praying and all of a sudden a pretty woman walks right past him or sits down next to him, he might get distracted. Doesn't mean
Yes, and this is what you guys explained to me in terms of the separation in that synagogue with the where the women are in that separate area. It's just so men can't get distracted. and they just focus on the praying and stuff like that. So I definitely understand that.
That anything's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. They're sitting in synagogue, but you don't want to be distracted at a time when you're trying to be, put your whole soul in service to God. So they make a separation. And in general, the sects are separated in definitely in Hasidic Judaism. Whereas I'll walk into a store, if there's a woman behind the counter, of course I'll say hi. I'll ask her what I need. I'll pay. I'll leave. Basic decency. There's just no social interaction between men and women, and it's just.
No, do they start the separation with the children? Because right here I could see like the boys and the girls playing. Is it only once the boys have reached like the age of 13 and they've done their bar mitzvah and they've, transitioned into that boy to men stage that they start following the separation a little bit more? Or is it always like from the get-go? Maybe some of these girls are like some of these boys' sisters. Maybe that's why they're together.
If we're trying to focus on our families and doing everything the straight way, we feel this is the best way.
So there's a big difference between the first neighborhood we started at, the second one we were just at, now where we're going, right?
Yeah, okay. So the first neighborhood we were in was Borough Park. That is, I'd say, a melting... First of all, it's the largest, has the most Hasidic Jews living there, about 105,000. And then it's like a melting pot of many different Hasidic sects that live there. The next one we went to was Williamsburg, which is dominated mainly by the Satmar Hasidic sect. They're
So Satmar Hasidic, okay. And those, I think he said, were like the ultra-Orthodox.
Probably the most ultra-Orthodox
Yeah, okay.
conservative group of the Hasidim that there are. And then the next one we're going to is Crown Heights, which is dominated by the Lubavitch sect. And they are very polished. The whole idea of Lubavitch is doing outreach to Jews all over the world, and they have thousands of centers.
And so this is where Yoni's videos all were filmed, and we're kind of going back into his realm. Okay.
In over 100 countries throughout the world, and you're going to see they're the most well-spoken. They can explain everything best.
How many different sects are there?
Probably 200. I'm not sure if it's closed. I think it is closed, which is why they brought it out onto the street.
Okay.
So like all the benches.
Open
the
space
books.
synagogue.
Yeah.
Oh, did they close off the synagogue due to COVID? Was that what the reason was?
Wow. Interesting.
A lot of these people are rabbis.
Okay.
We're going to be meeting one, and then we're going to go to a different rabbi's house. This
Gotcha.
guy who we're meeting now was an intern rabbi who died this afternoon. The Jewish Children's Museum, also owned by the same Lubavitch.
Oh, is that also quite common, is to say it all out loud? Because I think in most of the videos we've seen, I guess people pray in silence. Is that just a personal preference? Or is there a certain part that you should speak outward with versus speaking inward? Like,
Sect, and I remember when it was being built, they said it cost $1 billion.
$1 billion?
$1 billion.
Come on. It's amazing, but
I
$1
mean,
billion? Wow.
I'm not sure why, but this is what they were saying.
My name is Mendel.
Mendel.
Nice to meet you, Peter.
I'm Shalom.
Shalom. Okay, what do we have here?
doesn't shalom mean something like, is that hi or good day? I think I've heard that before. People say like shalom to each other kind of thing. I gotta say, Mendel with the mask looks a little funny. He should take off the mask.
We have here 770 Eastern Parkway. It's the most iconic building in Chabad Lubavitch, which is a sect in Hasidicism. This building was acquired right when the Chabad movement moved to America in 1940. And now this is sort of the icon and the headquarters of the Chabad Lubavitch movement, as opposed to other Hasidic communities which stay in their neighborhood.
Okay.
And, you know, they live together. We move all around to the world, to many different communities, many different cities, in order to help Jews with their Judaism. For example, I just came from Dubai. I was there for 5 weeks.
Today, right?
Today. I just
Wow, he was there for 5 weeks. Now, in terms of Shlomi saying that they're the most well-versed and can explain a lot, does that mean they're like more open to explaining things to people or talking with people about things? Or are they just more knowledgeable? Because it seems like the other sects definitely know what they're talking about as well. Are these guys just more open to reaching out and talking to different groups of people?
Landed a few hours ago, and over there we were helping the Jewish community in Dubai. But at the end of the day, this is really our home. This is really our headquarters, and
Your headquarters for all of the world,
yeah,
not in Israel.
exactly. As the movement grew, they bought the next building and continued growing
The
until
Children's Museum.
exactly. So if you can't have a sukkah in your house,
So that's what somebody was explaining in the funny enough, I think it was Mendel who was explaining that in the comment section, saying like they had bought another place beside or whatnot and then expanded. That's why the basement or the area where they were all praying is such a large area. Gotcha. Okay.
we're gonna bring the sukkah to you.
Wow.
So we drive
Mobile
around the
sukkah.
city, global sukkah. We drive around, giving people the opportunity to do the mitzvot of the sukkah. It's probably 30, 40 of them. Every day they go to Manhattan, Queens, all over Brooklyn, wherever there's Jews, give them the opportunity to do the mitzvah of sukkot.
I'm surprised U-Haul is okay with this. Or maybe U-Haul has no idea that's what their trucks are being used for.
What do you feel when you do the sukkah?
What do you mean?
What do you feel personally? Like you feel an enlightenment? You
Right.
feel
So
closer to God?
A real connection. This is almost like we're leaving our house, going into God's home, God's living room. It's a time when we develop a very deep relationship, connection with God. We're not in our home, we're leaving our home, we're coming
Right.
up close to God physically
Right.
and also spiritually.
Oh yeah, so I remember during the Cynical Duchess's video when they were going around, they said that Crown Heights has quite a nightlife.
All right, welcome to our house. Naphtali, yeah.
Naphtali.
Yeah.
Naphtali. Okay. So oh yeah, this was the guy in the beginning of the video, yes, in the little short clips.
Sorry, I didn't shake.
No,
it's just weird
because
times. Weird times.
We're at bad time, not the most comfortable times. Yeah.
Hello.
My daughter Rifki.
It's okay if I. Wow, beautiful, beautiful place.
This is
Wow, yeah. This is quite a nice living space. Oh, they even have a security system. Pretty cool.
This is what we call our Shabbos room, because
Okay.
we really built this room around Shabbos. Now, what we do when we have nice weather, because I like open, is we turn this whole room, our Shabbos room, into a big porch by opening these two doors here.
It's dark, guys, but we got a nice patio area. Great neighborhood.
Huh?
Great neighborhood.
Right. The beautiful. This neighborhood had times when it was very upscale.
Uh-huh.
Went down because of the crime, and now it's starting to pick up. No matter what the case is, we actually have a commandment to rest and take a vacation and have only family time.
It's
And-
beautiful.
And we love it.
That's an actual commandment? Rest and take vacation for family time. That's really nice. That's very important to get back to, I guess, what the main importance is, especially if you do have a family, and that's, you can get so lost in the weeds with the day-to-day tasks, or you're stuck in your head about work, or things that are coming up, and then you kind of lose track of like the important people in your life or the importance in your life. Maybe not for the Jewish community because you guys practice it so much, but I'd say like on a day-to-day, regularly, sometimes I hear a lot of people like, oh, I have to make time, so yeah.
It's Thanksgiving every 6 days.
Yeah, that's very healthy, I think.
Yeah, extremely healthy. And I just honestly feel bad for anyone who doesn't have that. We have days off over here.
Yeah.
And we have vacations. It doesn't compare to Shabbos. There's something just so peaceful about it, because It's just a family. It's not family. It's family guest. It's and just us. And it's not. There's no distractions. There's no stress. It's a time where you're literally not even talk about my mundane things. I'm not allowed to talk about what I'm going to build, what we're going to do vacation, how we're going to.
Right.
We're not even allowed to. When you're not allowed to talk about it,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you have no choice but just to relax.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. When all else fails, just forget about it and, you know, just relax.
Just to
And observe.
and it's amazing.
How you
Here
doing?
we have.
Very
Here we
cool.
have our kitchen. Now we don't mix dairy and meats together.
Okay.
So one side is focused on dairy,
Okay.
and this side over here will be focused on meat products, and this will be neutral, salads, things like that.
Are you okay to be on the camera or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So, unlike the other house we saw, they only have the one oven. So, I guess whoever's doing the cooking, would they then wash, say they were using the dish for meat, would they then wash it and then use it for dairy afterwards and vice versa? Or would this oven specifically only be for like one thing?
I've learned a lot today. I
yeah.
really knew nothing about the
Right.
Hasidic.
Watch your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's our
That's why
sukkah.
the hat helps with that.
Yeah. Here's our sukkah. When there's no COVID, when you don't have to worry, this
That guy has a really nice sukkah.
place is full the entire day. The entire night, there's people over here coming and going.
Right.
And it's a beautiful social. This community is all about social events, and this is just beautiful.
You're very tight knit.
Yeah, because we know each other. We
Yeah.
know each other for many years. We understand. We have the same culture, and we're all pretty much like family.
Shalomie was telling me there's half the month you cannot touch your wife. Is this correct?
Ooh, okay, so we're getting into this. So we covered a little bit of this in the mikvah video. So maybe we'll get a little bit more explanation on this.
How does that work?
So you're cutting into
Is that a tough topic?
No, it's not a tough topic. It's just
Okay.
a big topic.
Okay.
It's not that you don't touch. What happens is we're structured in where a husband is attracted to the wife as much as possible, and the wife will be attracted as much as possible to the husband. So what happens is when a wife is in a state of impurity, number one, it's uncomfortable.
What? Say that again.
Impurity. If that
Okay, so it's interesting that that word is the word that's used, impurity. Because I personally would never look at it as impurity, but maybe he's gonna break down it, because it sounds like Peter's about to ask him, what does he mean by that?
having a period,
Yes.
it's just probably very uncomfortable.
Right.
If the husband approaches her and it's like, hey, I don't feel good now. I don't feel clean.
Right, right.
I don't want to be right now, you know. And for the husband, it could also have some negative psychological, because this is my, you know, it's not, it's almost disrespectful for each other,
Right.
to have any relationship in a state when the person is not pure. Another thing is, if I had
Oh, what happened here? It looks like the video froze a little bit.
respectful for each other,
Right.
to have any relationship in a state when the person is not pure. Another thing is, if I was telling you how I love this holiday so much, if I had this holiday the whole day in my life, I wouldn't enjoy it anymore. I'll go crazy. So the good
And that's another thing. That's another thing somebody had mentioned. It's like what was it, like, distance makes the heart grow fonder. So I could see that aspect as well. Oh,
part about it is that when they have a period, when they have their
Yeah.
I like how he's whispering, like, period. Like, this gentleman, I think he's a little bit more uncomfortable about talking about it than maybe Peter is. But you know what? I think I'll stop it right here because it looks like it's getting a little bit good. So I'll end part 1 of episode 3 here, and we'll be right back. All right.